Here are 5 things that Colombians think are normal but Brits don't. The first one is people will ask you super personal questions here soon after meeting them, and it's not them being nosy, it's not them being rude, they're not kind of trying to catch you out or anything, they are just being polite, and it's seen as a form of kind of curiosity here. And yeah, it's just part of the culture, they're just being polite. So for example, 10 minutes after meeting someone from Colombia, they could ask you how old you are, or how much money you earn, or are you single? This can be useful if you're talking to women and you are single. If you're a guy, obviously, this is just normal for people in Colombia, and part of it is because they kind of like the chisme, they like a little bit of gossip, but they're just interested in what you're saying, they're just interested in finding out more about you. And this is especially true if you're kind of speaking to your neighbors, if you've just moved into a building, or the people in and around your area, they will be kind of even more curious with questions because they want to know about you, they want to find out about you. You are basically a form of their extended family if you live in the same building as them, if you're kind of next door neighbors or whatever. So yeah, that is the first thing. Honestly, us Brits would never do this. It's seen as kind of a little bit rude to be asking questions like that after 5 minutes of meeting someone. You wouldn't ask them how much money you earn or anything. We're a lot more kind of conservative with our questions. If someone wants to tell us that, that's absolutely fine, but we're not very forward with things like that. Whereas here, and actually in other countries in Latin America as well, they're kind of pretty forward with questions like that. And so that is the first one. And the second one is that they will pout to point here. And so instead of pointing with their hand like it's, oh, something's over there, or like nod with their head, they will do this. Like it's over there. And it's so funny because I actually didn't realize I was doing this myself after the first time I came to Colombia until one of my friends pointed it out to me. It's weird when you're not used to it. So if you haven't been exposed to Colombian culture in that regard, that whole pointing thing is really weird. But if you spend a long time in Colombia, or even just a few weeks, and like people do it to you, you end up doing it as well. It's like, oh, like where's the tiendita? And you're kind of like, it's over there. And so yeah, this is a typical Colombian thing, and we don't do this in the UK. This is not a UK thing or whatsoever. We'll point, or maybe we'll nod, or we'll kind of maybe use our eyebrows. We'll kind of go, oh, it's over there, but we'd never do that kind of pouting thing. But that's really funny. That's a classic thing that Colombians love to do, and that we just don't do that in the UK. So that's the second one, pout to point. So like, for example, look, I'm on the ciclovia right now, and there's like a nice coffee shop over there that I might go into. That's a good example of it. And the third one is that they will carry absolutely anything and everything on motorcycles here. As you guys already know, there is a huge motorbike culture here in Colombia, maybe especially Medellin. And so spending a typical day here, you will see all sorts of stuff being carried on motos, ladders, birthday cakes. Someone told me just now that people from poor neighborhoods will order a washing machine for one day on the weekend so they can do their washing, and that washing machine will turn up on a moto. There's someone going around the barrios in Medellin delivering washing machines, not in a car, not in a truck, not in a bus or anything like that. They will deliver a washing machine on a moto. Isn't that crazy? I have to say, I don't think I've seen that in person, but hearing that story from my friend here would not surprise me in any way, shape or form. So yeah, you see people carrying TVs. Bibi, jump up. You see people carrying here TVs on motos, ladders, birthday cakes, like I just said, literally anything. Because if you have a moto and you don't have a car and you need to get around and you want to kind of deliver something, you'll choose your moto. A lot of them have little kind of like shelves, I guess, on the back of the moto so they can carry even more stuff. But yeah, fruit, vegetables, meat, anything really can be transported on a moto, which is, I like it in some way because it's kind of very innovative. It's like they're kind of being super resourceful about what they have. But this is not a thing in the UK. There is no kind of big motorbike culture in the UK, and therefore anything that gets delivered will just be delivered with a truck or a car or something like that. So it's not a thing for us to deliver items in the UK via moto. It's just a little bit chaotic right now. But guys, as you can see, there's beautiful weather here in Colombia. It's actually a bank holiday, so there was a ciclovia yesterday as well, but I'm just enjoying a little time with B, my little doggy, on the ciclovia. So that's the third one. They'll use motos for transporting basically anything here in Colombia. So the fourth one, very fittingly, is going to the mall is a social event here. I'm actually just on my way to the mall right now to buy a few things for my apartment, and I guess the UK equivalent of going to the pub where you hang out with your mates, you have a drink, you might have something to eat, maybe you're not even drinking, you might just have a Diet Coke or a lemonade or something in the pub. The Colombia equivalent can be going to a tiendita for that kind of thing, but it's normally going to a mall. Malls are dead in the UK. They're not really a place to hang out. Maybe potentially Westfield in West London is somewhere where people would go to hang out, spend time there. But here, people will spend all day in the mall. They'll go with their kids. They'll bring their dogs. The malls are pet friendly. They'll go there for breakfast. They'll go and watch a movie. They'll have lunch. They'll basically do everything in the mall, especially when the weather's bad. If it's raining here in Colombia, the thing to do is you go to the mall. And so that's just a big part of the culture here. And the malls here are actually really good. They're full of nature. Some of them are half inside, half outside. So you get like a nice bit of, so it doesn't feel like you're inside the whole time. You get a nice breeze. They have lots of trees inside, things like that. There is definitely a really big mall culture here, way more so than the UK. And the UK is not really a thing. And then sadly, I guess the UK mall equivalent could have been the high street back in the day, maybe in the early 2000s and in the 90s and 80s, where people would go to the high street, they'd hang out, they'd have a coffee, walk around a little bit, do a bit of shopping. But sadly, the UK high street has kind of died. You don't really have that in the UK anymore. But here, definitely there's a mall culture. And the last one is words of affirmation. So here in Colombia, you will often get called mi vida, mi rey, hermoso, guapo, things like this from anyone. Could be someone cutting your hair, could be the person serving you at the supermarket. And that basically means like my love or my king or beautiful or handsome, things like this. So they just use those kind of words here in everyday conversations. If someone calls you mi amor here, it's not because they're flirting with you. They maybe don't even think you're attractive. They are literally just being nice. It is just part of the culture. Even words like papi. I was on a motorbike the other day with a guy. He was driving a little bit crazy. When I told him to slow down a little bit because yeah, he's like, don't worry, papi, it's okay. And obviously in Spanish, it's a thing here. And so yeah, that's completely different in the UK. You might use those kind of words in the UK for your husband or your wife or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, that kind of thing. You probably still wouldn't even use it as much, but here, everywhere you go, you'll be called mi amor, mi rey, mi reina, hermoso, hermosa, stuff like this. And yeah, that's one of the main differences in the language. They're a lot more kind of affectionate with their language here, whereas in the UK we're a lot more kind of stiff upper lip, don't show any emotion. We don't say that unless we're talking to our other half. The person at the cashier would never say, oh, that's going to be £25, my king or my love. You'd be like, what the fuck did you just say? Probably get done for like some sort of like sexual misconduct if someone in the supermarket did that. That's how crazy things have got in the UK, I guess. But yeah, that is the fifth one, is words of affirmation. They get used so much in Colombia, but in the UK it's not even a thing. It's not even on the radar. And if you called people my love and my king and my queen and everything in the UK, like when you're going to do your grocery shopping, people would think you're weird. 5 things that Colombians do that Brits don't.